could freestyle about it, preach about it, or go off top of the head. But today I bought my notes so I could resurrect the dead. Yeah! Greetings and blessings to my navigators of the seven seas. I am your locksmith, your symbologist, and metaphysical tour guide, Flat Archie 5000, and I'm back with another one as we navigate through the land of Pineal. Today we're going to unlock your Solomon's Temple to decode the slimy, slithering, sneaky snake. So as always, strap on your helmet and buckle up your spacesuit because we're on a mental voyage and we're about to take off before the walls of Jericho come crumbling down. In the tradition of entering Solomon's Temple, we must use a meditative master key to help us stay on the path of enlightenment. It is these divine words that have a literal, allegorical, and metaphysical message attached to them when understood in its proper context. So today we give honors and respect to an unknown philosopher who once said, "Be sure to taste your words before you spit them out." Let me repeat it one more time. For those of you who may have spoken before thinking within the confines of your mind first, a wise man once said, "Be sure to taste your words before you spit them out." Go on and meditate on that. And click your heels 3 times while I ring this bell of enlightenment for that powerful meditative key of wisdom as you enter the corridors of your Solomon's Temple. Let's get to it, shall we? No time to waste. Okay, masterminds, take note. In the realm of snakeology, you will learn today there is an ongoing theme that has been shared throughout the ages in many ancient cultures based on a reptile's ability to shed its old skin. This act of Mother Nature alone tends to be the embodiment of that which makes the reptile such a mystical creature outside of the fact of its ability to be a prey or predator at will. Thus, in many ancient cultures, the snake was seen as a symbol of transformation and rebirth. In some mythologies, the snake is said to have the power to transform into other creatures, such as humans or gods, and is often associated with themes of shape-shifting and metamorphosis. In Sumerian mythology, the snake held a significant and complex symbolic meaning. The snake was often depicted as a powerful serpent with a dual nature, representing both good and evil. On one hand, the snake was associated with the goddess Ninhursag, the patron deity of childbirth, fertility, and motherhood. Due to its ability to shed its skin and was reborn each year, the association with life and renewal made the snake a revered and sacred animal in Sumerian society. On the other hand, the snake was also associated with the god Ningirsu, the god of war and destruction. The snake was seen as a symbol of chaos, destruction, and evil, as it was feared by its ability to strike and kill. This duality of a snake's symbolism reflected the Sumerians' ambivalence towards the natural world, which they saw as both beautiful and terrifying. The snake also played a significant role in Sumerian myths, particularly in the myth of Gilgamesh and Enkidu. In this myth, the snake is depicted as a symbol of death and in the afterlife, as it slithers into the underworld to reclaim the body of Gilgamesh's friend Enkidu. This myth highlights the snake's association with the mysteries of life and death. In ancient Egyptian mythology, the snake was depicted as a symbol of regeneration, renewal, and eternal life, as it shed its skin and was reborn each year. The Egyptians believed that the snake's ability to regenerate its body was a manifestation of the divine power of the gods. The snake was also associated with the goddess Wadjet, the patron deity of Lower Egypt, who was often depicted as a cobra or serpent. In Hindu mythology, the snake is a significant symbol of renewal and rebirth, particularly in the context of God Shiva's association with the cosmic cycle of creation and destruction. The snake is also associated with the goddess Kali, who is often depicted as a fierce and powerful female figure with a serpent like body. Kali's association with the snake represents her power to destroy and transform, as well as her connection to the cycles of life and death. In both Egyptian and Hindu mythology, the snake is also associated with the healing and medicine. In ancient Egyptian medicine, the snake was seen as a symbol of the medical knowledge and healing powers, while in Hindu mythology, the snake is associated with the god Dhanvantari, who is said to have brought the knowledge of medicine to humanity. In ancient Greek and Roman mythology, the snake was a complex and multifaceted symbol with various meanings and connotations. In Greek mythology, the snake was associated with the gods of the underworld, such as Hades and Persephone, and was seen as a symbol of death and rebirth and transformation. The snake was also linked to the goddess Athena, who was often depicted with snake-like beard, symbolizing her wisdom and power. In Roman mythology, the snake was associated with Serapis, who was a patron deity of medicine and healing. The snake was also linked to the god Mercury, who was often depicted with a snake-like staff, symbolizing his role as a messenger and guide between the mortal world and the realm of the gods. In both Greek and Roman mythologies, the snake was often depicted as a symbol of evil or wickedness, particularly in the context of myths about monsters and villains. For example, Medusa's snake was a symbol of her monstrous and terrifying nature. This aspect of Medusa's symbolism is tied to her role as a goddess of fertility and abundance, and her snakes may represent her connection to the cycles of life and death. However, the snakes on Medusa's head also serves as a symbol of fear and intimidation. Her gaze is said to turn people into stone, representing the power of fear to paralyze and immobilize. This aspect of Medusa's snakes on her head may also be seen as a representation of her connotation to the underworld and the malevolent realm, where snakes are often found in dark, damp places. However, the snake also had positive connotations in Greek and Roman mythology. In Greek mythology, the snake was associated with the god Apollo, who was often depicted with a snake-like lyre, symbolizing his connection to music and healing. In Yoruba mythology, the snake is a significant symbol associated with two powerful deities, Oya and Eshu. Both deities are revered for their unique characteristics and attributes, which are reflected in the symbolism of the snake. Oya, the goddess of change, transition, and transformation, is often depicted with a snake-like crown or a snake around her waist. The snake is a symbol of Oya's power to transform and regenerate life. In Yoruba mythology, Oya is said to have the power to bring rain and fertility to the land, and the snake is seen as a representation of her ability to bring new life and renewal. Thus, the snake's shedding of its skin is also seen as a metaphor for Oya's ability to shed old patterns and bring forth new beginnings. Let's bring the bell back. Thus, the snake is believed to be a mediator between the physical and spiritual realms, allowing Oya to communicate with the gods and access the divine energies. Eshu was the god of messengers, communication, and crossroads. It is also associated with the snake. Eshu is often depicted with a snake-like staff or carrying a snake in his hand. Eshu is said to have the power to move between worlds, carrying messages between the gods and mortals. Thus, the snake is believed to be a bridge between the two worlds, allowing Eshu to communicate with the gods and access divine energies. In this context, the snake represents Eshu's ability to navigate through complex situations and find hidden paths. Furthermore, in voodoo, snakes are often associated with the lower spirits and are used in various rituals and ceremonies. Snakes are seen as a symbol of transformation, renewal, and healing, and are believed to have the power to transform and heal the body, mind, and spirit. This symbolism is deeply rooted in the spiritual practices of voodoo, where snakes are used to connect with the lower and to facilitate spiritual growth and self awareness. The connection between snakes and Aloha is a central aspect of voodoo spirituality. In this tradition, snakes are believed to be messengers of the Loa, carrying their messages and energies to the practitioner. The snake is seen as a symbol of spiritual evolution and transformation, helping individuals to move beyond their current limitations and achieve a higher level of consciousness. Snakes are also used in voodoo for their perceived magical powers. They are believed to have the power to manipulate the forces of nature and to grant wishes. In this context, snakes are often used in rituals and spells to attract positive energy, ward off negative energy, and bring about desired outcome. Question: what other spiritual aspects does the snake play in our lives? And why should we concern ourselves with the symbolism and mythology of the serpent? And how can this knowledge help us today? That's what the masterminds want to know, and I'm here to give you a respectable answer. In occultism, the story of Adam and Eve is often seen as an allegory for the human experience and the quest for spiritual knowledge and enlightenment. The serpent in the story is often interpreted as a symbol of the divine, representing the higher self or the divine spark within humanity. According to this interpretation, the serpent is not just a tempter, but a guide who helps Adam and Eve to awaken to their true nature and potential. The serpent represents the kundalini energy that lies dormant within the human body, waiting to be awakened and raised through the chakras to achieve higher states of consciousness. Let's ring the bell for that. In fact, I'm going to repeat that one more time just so you can get the memo. According to this interpretation, the serpent is not just a tempter, but a guide who helps Adam and Eve to awaken to their true nature and potential. The serpent represents the kundalini energy that lies dormant within the human body, waiting to be awakened and raised through the chakras to achieve higher states of consciousness. The story of Adam and Eve can be seen as an allegory for the process of spiritual growth and transformation, where the individual Adam is tempted by the serpent to eat from the fruit of knowledge, which represents the awakening of the kundalini energy. This awakening allows the individual to access higher states of consciousness and to see the world in a new light. The forbidden fruit itself can be seen as a symbol of the knowledge and power that comes from awakening the kundalini energy. Eating from the fruit represents the integration of the divine into the human psyche, allowing for a higher level of self-awareness and connection to the divine. The serpent's role in the story can also be seen as a symbol of the process of spiritual alchemy, where the individual's base materials, the ego, is transformed into gold, the higher self. The serpent's ability to shed its skin and regenerate its body represents transformation that occurs as the individual awakens to their true nature. In this interpretation, the story of Adam and Eve is not just a tale about original sin, but a symbolic representation of the human journey towards spiritual growth and enlightenment. The serpent represents the guiding force that helps humanity to awaken to its true potential and to achieve higher states of consciousness. Some occultists may also see parallels between the story of Adam and Eve and ancient mythologies and symbolism, such as the Egyptian mythology of Isis and Osiris, or the Hindu mythology of Shiva and Shakti. These stories share similar themes and motifs, such as the struggle between good and evil, the power of transformation, and the quest for spiritual knowledge and enlightenment. In the context of kundalini energy, the snake is often associated with the rising of the life force from its coiled state at the base of the spine to its union with the divine at the crown of the head. The snake is a symbol of the kundalini energy because it represents the powerful and transformative force that lies dormant within each individual. Just as a snake sheds its skin as it grows, the Kundalini energy is said to awaken and rise through the chakras, releasing old patterns and behaviors and revealing new levels of consciousness and awareness. The snake's association with our higher self is rooted in its symbolism and transformation and ascension. As the Kundalini energy rises through the chakras, it is said to awaken higher states of consciousness, including intuition, creativity, and inner wisdom. The snake's shedding of its skin also represents the release of old patterns and ego structures, allowing for a higher level of self-awareness and connection to one's true nature. Thus, in alchemy, the snake is a symbol of transformation, renewal, and regeneration. It is often depicted in alchemical texts and illustrations as a coiled serpent, representing the potential for change and transformation that lies dormant within the material world. The snake's symbolism is also associated with the concept of Mercury, the divine messenger, who is often depicted as a winged serpent. Mercury is seen as a symbol of the fluidity and adaptability that is necessary for transformation to take place. Just as Mercury can take on many forms and transform itself into different substances, so too can the mastermind use Mercury to transform base metals into gold. So as always, in Solomon's Temple, I leave you in peace with these powerful words. Shedding your old skin is like leaving a past reality that you have fully outgrown. Let me repeat it one more time just so you can get the memo. Shedding your old skin is like leaving a past reality that you have fully outgrown. Ashe, ashe, ashe.